Начинаем, ребята. Это Егор.
Right. So, thank you guys for attending. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for coming. So, this is the second English debate lesson that we are going to talk pretty much about European and world's debating tournaments and how to play. And at the last lesson we talked about mostly special terminology, jargonisms, and today we are going to dedicate a couple of hours to practicing debates in English and to specification of what is exactly English debate and how it differentiates from debates in Russian language, like the ones that we are used to playing here. So, pretty much, the main point is that cases work even though it does not practically mean anything. For example, this house believes that destroying pieces of heritage of religion is a great way of having a war. So you have a war with another country, so you select a tactic to destroy their monasteries, their pieces of culture, pieces of their religion. And so this does not apply to real life. There are several reasons to that, but the main point of debating in English language as well, at least, is the fact that you debate about really the fact that people do have or do not have right to it, and the fact that these values do work or they do not work. This is pretty much the main idea of debating in English. So this is the point briefly, and now we're going to open it up a little bit. So we appeal to the rights, to the values, and not to really anything practical, physical. Well, this just goes to the second plan. All right, so let's have a look at another case. This house justifies пакет Яровой. Does everybody know what it is? Ну, знаете, что такое пакет Яровой, да? So, pretty much, on one hand, we would have, well, in English debates, on one hand, we would have human rights to have their private life, you know, and on the other hand, we will have a value of being safe, of not being bombed by terrorists in a subway station in Moscow, for example. So, this is what English debates would be. Debates in Russian language would be as well about the fact that, like, you know, you've seen it on the news, like about the fact that you will have to build servers, you'll have to store it somewhere, the data that will be collected. You would have to find the money somewhere, and do in fact people have to pay for this or no? Well, the fact that do citizens have to pay for it or no is related to English debates also, but not as much. This would be a second plan arguments. You get the idea, right? Кому-нибудь, может, по-русски нужно объяснить, если нет понимания?
Даша.
Я понимаю, просто очень забавно понять.
All right. So, there are pretty much debates, in English debates, well, there are debates about, as I have mentioned already, values and rights, human rights. So, now, Sergey, at the last lesson, already told us how to work with values. So, you pretty much have got some kind of непонятно, явление, короче. You have a явление. Вот. Then you explain the mechanism, pretty much how it works. Then you explain the value. And then you explain the consequences. Why it matters, why doesn't it matter, and there is a fight about it in consequences, right? So now I'm going to tell you the main idea on how to work with different type of cases. The cases in which you work with human rights. For example, right for access to the internet, which is quite a popular issue these days, and people fight to set this right as constitutional in many countries and worldwide. And you know, Elon Musk with his 1 gigabit of internet to everybody. So yes. So then, first, you prove the right. For example, the fact that, like, my right to live here is not a doubtable thing, but there are some rights, as in case with the internet, that have to be proven. So first step would be proving the right. Second one would be to prove that no one can really infringe the right. Никто не может посягнуть на это право. For example, they cannot infringe my right to access the internet because I need it, because as we live in information age, I deserve to have this information, etc. Then, you would have to prove that infringing of this case has already happened. This is what you work with. And afterwards, you weigh it. So you prove that infringement is not good. And it weighs over the fact that that people get more safety, for example. And people should not get more safety, people should get more internet. So you weigh. You pretty much give the conclusion. The trick point here is alright, the third step, proving that the infringement has happened. Let's work with United States. Everybody has heard of Snowden, right? The fact that information popped out about American government and CIA and stuff, spying on people even with turned off phones and stuff like that. So the idea is that before it happened, before the information popped up, infringement did not happen because people lived happy lives not thinking about it. So it means that you would have to prove that it still matters, because opposition would be saying that it doesn't matter because they did not realize that they have been spied on, were being spied on. So now we're going to do a little bit of interactive part. Janelt and I would like your help. So you are now divided into two groups, pretty much kind of equal, sort of, kind of. So, and I will give you 3 minutes to prepare and 3 minutes to give a speech on чуваки, вы пока садитесь, я еще объясняю. 3 minutes to prepare and 3 minutes to as a group. Then you will have a person that will come out and present your ideas for proposition and opposition. So, how it was at the last lesson that me and Lena have been teaching to you? Well, have been leading. Pretty much, you came out and you were perceiving this task as some kind of thing that, as a normal debate speech, but no, you come out, you have got only 3 minutes, I would be strict about timing, so you go over 3 minutes and 5 seconds, for example, I cut you off, you go back and sit down. And the point is that you come out and you tell the main points. So for the first case, you would have 3 minutes again, 3 minutes to prepare, 3 minutes to explain your ideas. I will give case to you guys. You will be proposition, you will be opposition. То есть все понятно. Да, я вам сейчас дам тему. Вы будете готовиться за пропов, вы будете готовиться за опов. 3 минуты подготовка, 3 минуты речь. Давайте тогда. Алтынай, пожалуйста, вот эта вот группа. Да. So the first case would be this This house would prohibit private ownership of art deemed to be culturally or historically significant. This house will prohibit private ownership of pieces of art that are deemed art or historically or culturally significant. То есть эта палата запретит частное владение частями культуры, произведениями искусства, которые признаны исторически или культурно значимыми. So, alright, you have got 2 minutes now. Here we go.